היא אוהבת את המצלמה.
כן, זה מעניין אותה. רב, תסתכלי.
Good dog.
I missed you.
I missed you too, baby. Every day, every minute of every day.
I was so happy to be back with you. I was really worried about you.
I was worried about you too. About both you and your mother and everybody else.
And the small dog. They're right, Purple.
אנחנו כולם חשבנו עליכם כל הזמן.
Well, it was quite a journey for both of us. I had to, first of all, luckily for me, Bella is, unlike all the other small dogs that I personally know, she is rather quiet unless when she's playing her mad. So they didn't notice her. It was difficult because, you know, all the journey to get there with her, it was, you know, an extra 4 kilos of this small, cute puppy. And we gave her like our leftovers so she'll eat. And she like tried to like walk around the place where we were kept, and we had to make sure she doesn't start exploring too much. But overall, she was a huge help to me. She kept me busy. She was moral support, even though she didn't want to be. Yeah, and I'm just so happy that I managed to do this journey with her.
Not so quiet. That's the advantage that she had, and you had.
Yes, exactly. I think, honestly, if it was allowed a dog, if they would have seen her as a bot, I think they would not have let me kept her, in all honesty.
טוב, אנחנו כולנו עדיין מתוחים ועצובים וכואבים. From what my daughter said, she was worried that something would happen to the dog if she left her behind. So what she did was she put her under her pajamas jacket when they got into the vehicle and they were driven out of the kibbutz. And then they took them to tunnels, and they went through the tunnels into Gaza, and she had the dog with her the whole time. And then when they came out of the tunnel, they had to climb up a ladder. That's when Hamas people noticed that this was not a doll, it was a living, breathing dog. And a bit of an argument ensued, and it was decided to let her keep the dog instead of leave it behind in a bird cage. And so she kept the dog with her. And they were very careful. The dog is a quiet dog. She didn't bark, so she was non-threatening to their captors. And they fed her remainders of their food. And they made sure that she did her business in a certain segregated part of the house where they were, and they cleaned up afterwards, so there was no smell or any remnants, and they kept her for the whole time.
Physically, I feel fine. I was also checked in the hospital that I arrived, and I am completely fine. Mentally, well, it was quite the journey, and it was a hard experience. Currently, I feel, well, not okay, but I don't feel, you know, traumatized. I don't feel like I can't sleep, but it is a hard experience. It will take quite a while to like sink in. It's very important for me to say that even though me and my mother and my aunt returned, and there are a lot of people who have returned, it is still important to fight for the people who are still there. My uncle and my aunt's life partner are still there, and we miss them every day, and it feels wrong being here without them. It is so important that we bring back everybody. As much as I am happy to be back, we're still not done. Everybody needs to do their part to bring everybody back. Everybody needs to be here so we can celebrate properly when everybody who was taken hostage will return.
לא, לא, סבבה. כאילו, הכי פשוט, כאילו...
מה קרה? נשפך מים? כן. מה, נשפך מים על הרצפה? לא, רכב עבר, זה גם שמתי שקיות על הרצפה שמנות במים.
אוקיי. מה, אתה תופס אותי באמצע כל בסדר. לדעת שהתגעגעתי גם לעשות דברים רגילים בבית. לא רוצה להפריע לה. בואי, בלי. סיימת ממי? בואי, מתוקה. בואי, בליטה.
תראי איך היא מסתכלת.
אני חושבת בסך הכל אנחנו מרגישות טוב. נכון שעברנו ואנחנו עוברות לאט לאט מנסות לחזור לחיים רגילים. אני חושבת שעדיין מאוד בשלב של להיפגש עם המשפחה, עם החברים, עם כל האנשים שחיכו לנו והיו במצב מאוד קשה בלי לדעת מה קורה איתנו. כן, אנחנו יודעים עד שהם לא ראו אותנו, לא ידעו אם אנחנו בחיים, באיזה מצב אנחנו.
אין בעיה, אין בעיה. אין אתה יכול לדבר עם...
ספר לי משהו.
ספר לו על העזרים.
של לנו לקח את זה מאוד קשה. הוא עובד בחנות. She was very determined to bring the dog back, and one of the expressions that she has now is about the dog is that I love you to Gaza and back. And so I know that she's very important to both Miאה, my daughter, and to Gabriella, my wife. As for my experience, I didn't get to see it on live TV because I was on the way to the hospital to meet them. And I was with a friend because I don't drive. And in the middle of the drive, my friend got a phone call from a friend of hers who was watching on TV, keeping an eye open for us. And she said, "You're not going to believe this. Miאה came out holding the dog." Physically, my daughter appears to be doing well. She has aches and pains from the conditions that she was in, as does my wife. And but it's dealing with the trauma. You know, it doesn't matter how you were treated. Your freedom has been taken away from you, and you're exposed to conditions that are not of your choosing.
פירסינג יש לך פה.
2.
אני מאוהב במשפחה הזאת.